morning, America! Good morning. It is Friday, August 16th, 2024. It's the DJ. This is Land Cruiser Midwest and Migrant Mayhem special DNC version. Here today, we're getting ready for the DNC to kick off. It's a bell ringing day. It's a bell ringing day. We've got Raging Streets playing here from Seth Chol of YouTube Library. You can get that. Raging Streets. Doesn't it sound? It's gonna sound like the Chicago streets in a few days. Yeah, the people are starting to roll into Chicago. Can you believe that? Let's we've got some breaking news, if I can find it here. There it is. Breaking news. Oh yeah, breaking news, folks. Only here at the Migrant Mayhem. Oh, that felt good. Yeah, that always feels good. Let me set this one up for you. You're not gonna believe this. Wow, this is utterly crazy, but I guess it makes sense. It makes sense. Chicago's getting prepared for the DNC, to say the least. Let me see here. There it is. Is that it? Maybe not. Let's see. Sometimes this thing just likes to play difficult with me here, you know? There it is. Okay, so there we go. We have a report here from Fox News Chicago. This looks like the looting that happened during the Jabby. Look we got a building here in the Loop already boarded up, and the rioting and protesting hasn't even started. Haven't even started yet. And they got windows boarded up. It's like there's a hurricane coming to Chicago, right? It's like there's a hurricane. And yeah, there's my buddy up there behind me there. Say God bless Donald Trump, and then get us banned from YouTube. They hate Donald Trump here at the Screw Tube. All right, so did I say this was Migrant Mayhem? Yeah, this is Migrant Mayhem. We're protesting now. We're getting ready to protest. Let's listen to this short clip from Fox and the beautiful Dawn Hasbro. She's a cutie. But anyway, let's play this.
This is downtown are hoping for the best, but preparing for the worst.
Yeah, always prepare for the worst, guys. Get yourself some of this. Carry this with you. If you're going downtown, you're going to need it this week.
A store near Clark and Madison here in the Loop has its window boarded up. There are reports that a number of shops will take the same precautions ahead of any potential problems during the DNC protests. And speaking of that, a group that plans a peaceful protest and march gathered at City Hall today to complain that the city is putting too many restrictions on their planned demonstration. Sylvia Perez has that part of the story.
Yeah, protesters just like to complain, but the city's like trying to allow them to protest without protesting. It's like you're not allowed to walk on the streets if you're protesting. But listen to this.
The group called the Coalition to March on the DNC gathered at City Hall. They were out because they say the city is putting outrageous conditions in place when it comes to permits. The coalition says the city granted their permit to march, but then added some last-minute restrictions that includes no stages or platforms, no portable restrooms or toilets, tents, canopies, or sound equipment. They say their free speech rights are being violated.
You're going to talk about the complicity of genocide Joe Biden and killer Kamala Harris in this genocide, and we don't want you to do that. And that is an egregious violation of our First Amendment rights, and so immediately we filed an emergency injunction to keep the city from being able to implement those restrictions on us.
An attorney for this group filed an emergency motion last night to prevent the city from imposing these restrictions. They say they have more than 200 organizations from across the country that have joined to march next week on the DNC, and they're also concerned the route provided by the city is not adequate enough for the large number of protesters expected. Sylvia Perez, Fox 32, Chicago.
So there you go. There's an update on the DNC. I heard this one march is going to have 10,000 people, and the tyrannical city of Chicago, right? Yeah, Brandon Johnson. He's a person of the people, but he doesn't want you to march, and he's only going to let them march for 2 blocks. You know, 10,000 people aren't going to fit real well in 2 blocks. So a lot of issues that they have to countersue the city just to get them to respond. So getting interesting here, folks. It's already Friday, so I'm not sure when the protesting is going to step off and start. Maybe this weekend, who knows? But they've got the law officials flooding this town. I'm not sure where everyone's staying. I'm sure there's going to be a very, very few hotel rooms available. And if you want a hotel room in downtown Chicago, you're going to be paying the price for sure, for sure. They've got state police. They got police from surrounding jurisdictions. They got the Chicago police. But you know, the captain of the police, he assures us yesterday that they're ready to go. Nobody's getting a vacation. No one's getting time off. And if you're doing anything illegal, you're gonna be arrested and ceremoniously probably let go 10 minutes later. But anyway, it should be interesting, because some of the stuff that happens normally in Chicago, like blocking the highways and stuff like that, that they've allowed to happen in the past. Just like 2-3 months ago, there was some climate group that was sitting across a major highway leading into O'Hare Airport. You know, we're talking like a 5-6 lane highway going into the airport, that they just decided they were going to sit down and do a protest. They allowed that to happen for a couple of hours here in Chicago because they're so woke. Yes, they're woke in Chicago. And now, a couple of years ago, they had a minority cowboy that rode his horse down the Eisenhower, I believe, or was it what is it? The 94 that heads south, whatever they call that. I don't think that's the Eisenhower. That's something else. Oh yeah, that is Eisenhower. So yeah, he was riding down the Eisenhower in full gallop on his horse, and they just let it occur. It's crazy. There's craziness in Chicago, and since Brandon Johnson been put in office, it's just gotten crazier. Lori Lightfoot was pretty crazy, but Brandon is like Zoloft crazy. Brandon's got to be on some type of antipsychotics, because he's just out of this world. He's bell ringing crazy. Yes, he is. And we're ready, folks. Are you ready for the DNC? I don't know. The world is going to be watching, and let's see here. Here we've got them. They interviewed some residents are actually leaving town. People that live here have decided to leave town, as opposed to deal with all the BS that the DNC is going to put on their life. So let's listen to this.
Will be thrown into the limelight for the Democratic National Convention.
Residents are already feeling the effects. Casey Cronus live on the near west side with more. Casey.
Don and Terrence.
The beautiful Casey Cronus. Fox News just got lots of babes. Lots of babes here in Chicago at Fox News. So let's listen to Casey.
In a few hours, fencing just like this will start to go up around McCormick Place. Near the United Center, residents woke up to no parking signs, marking what is
Uh-oh, where are we gonna park?
only the start of restrictions, rolling street closures, and of course traffic over the next 10 days. With convention signage adorning the United Center and crews hard at work building temporary structures, the countdown to the DNC is on.
I'll make it work for me because I'm actually excited that it's going to be here.
But some who live
I'm leaving for the week.
and work
About 90% of our building is not coming in next week.
on the near west side are bracing for a complicated convention week.
My personal thought is it's going to be hectic. It's going to be very hectic.
Secure fencing is going up around the United Center, and so are no parking signs. They came as a surprise to many, including 27th Ward Alderman Walter Burnett Jr.
It's not what you do, it's how you do it, right? You cannot let people know at the last minute. But this just popped up on us all of a sudden.
Burnett says restrictions outside the perimeter were not part of the plan and is now looking to ease the burden on residents.
Some folks are disabled, got disabled parking, they can't park. You know, you have folks who have children who need a car, and you cannot accommodate all these people with a parking spot. There's no way of doing it unless you let them park in the United Center lots.
Some, like Elliot Robb, will be avoiding the area.
I have a garage spot for the wife, but me, I'm going to have to walk however many blocks, so we're just going to go to the suburbs.
Others, like Malik Fowler, will need to navigate.
There you go. People from the city going to the suburbs. No, don't do it. We got enough of those crazy Chicagoans in the burbs. We don't need any more. We don't need any more. Stay in the city. My God.
The roadblocks.
Yeah, I work for Amazon, so it's definitely going to be a little hassle because I get off early sometimes I get off late.
He's smiling about it, though. He's smiling about it. I don't know why, but he's smiling. I wonder what he's on.
Those who live within either perimeter should be carrying a valid government-issued ID and prepared to go through a security checkpoint. Those driving a personal car will need to have their vehicles screened.
There you go. There's the perimeter. There's vehicle screening in the yellow, and the restricted perimeters in red. So it's gonna be hard to get into that area. Look, we got like about what, 2 blocks on each side of the United Center, and anyone around there is gonna have some problems
When entering the secure zone. And tomorrow morning, top city officials, including CPD Superintendent Larry Snelling, will be joined by members of the U.S. Secret Service for one final tabletop exercise before the convention. The public on final safety preparations. Reporting live on the near west side, Casey Cronus, Fox 32, Chicago.
She brings up a good point. We got the Secret Service here in Chicago. I wonder if they're going to be putting anybody on rooftops. Any snipers on rooftops, or they're just going to forget about that. Oh, yeah. The wonderful Secret Service. Past the Cheetos, right? You remember Kimberly Cheeto and her testimony in front of Congress? Oh my God, what a train wreck. What a train wreck. I'm embarrassed for anyone that works for the Secret Service. My God, those people are incompetent. I thought the people at J.P. Morgan Chase were incompetent. People at Secret Service must have taken training from J.P. Morgan Chase. If you want to know more about that, check out one of my videos where I talked about Chuck and J.P. Morgan and all the problems they've been causing me lately. So check out those videos. We've got a wealth of video for you guys. Let's see where we're at. That's my update on the DNC. We're 15 minutes in. This is Friday. We're heading to the weekend real quick. It's a bell ringing day in Chicago. It's 70 degrees at 8 o'clock in the morning. The sun is coming up. the Dems and the libs are starting to move around the inner city of Chicago, only going to make it crazier. It's only going to get crazier as the libs come flying into O'Hare and Midway. They're going to invade this city like cockroaches. Oh, we already got cockroaches. Like rats. We already got rats. I don't know. They're just invading the city. They're a bad thing for the city. They're bringing us all their funny money. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of this moving around the city. We're going to see crime go through the roof. It's going to happen, folks. It's going to happen. I don't know if you saw what happened in New York City last night. They had some protesting going on there after one of Kamala's. Yeah, the Kamala. The pantsuit Pamela. Yeah, the Kamala that gave a speech or something, and then there was some rioting. There was some protesting. And that's coming to Chicago. It's coming to Chicago. Beware. Be aware. Be safe. Be safe and be prepared, not scared, right? That's the good tagline. Be prepared, not scared. You know it. You know it. And kudos to my buddy David F. Larson. David, I'm about 120 pages through your book. Brings up a lot of good points. Brings up a lot of things that even the most seasoned preppers sometimes don't think about. You need to be prepared. Like, this book brings up a good point where this guy goes to work and then all hell breaks loose. Well, he wasn't prepared at work. He didn't have supplies at work. He didn't have protection with him when he went to work. He was unprepared. So there's an example of you need to be prepared at all times. You need to be prepared wherever you are during the day, not just when you're at home at night. So pick up that book, The Preppers, on Amazon. David F. Larson. Google that. Great book, 400 pages. Fictional, but man, the scenarios here are pretty real. Pretty real what's going to happen when, you know, what hits the fan. Yeah. And it's possible that stuff's going to be hitting the fan this weekend and next week in Chicago. You see they're already boarding up the buildings. They're already boarding up the buildings, and they're already telling people that they can't protest. You can't protest. You don't have a permit to protest, or the protest is only a block long. You can't go 3 blocks. You're beyond the protest zone. Well, get ready, folks. Buckle up. Buckle up. Secure yourself. It's going to be a rough ride this coming week, and we're going to be here to report it for you. All the gory details. Me and Fox News and all the beautiful Fox News babes are going to be giving you guys everything you want to hear about. So, with that, we end the show as we end every show with a hand slap and a see ya!